Let's get this show on the road.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to World of Tanks with still guns. And welcome to Domination Mode, a long-ish sort of review of this mode as it stands at the moment. I'm making this video under the pretense that it's going to become a permanent mode even? A permanent mode in the game at some point? So, without further ado, let's get on with this. So, at the moment, there are 3 tanks available in the Domination lineup. The Object 140, the T110E5, and the AMX-50B. And that's a slight problem in of itself, in that there's so little... Oh, sorry, you just had to laugh at that object right there. Anyway, first problems here. Number 1, the lack of selection. There's only 3 tanks available in the Domination lineup. Only one of them is a medium. The T110E5 I find is one of the least suited to this mode. The people who do play it are few and far between. Whilst the T110 does have armor, it's still not as good as the Object or the AMX-50B. Another issue is the really long respawn times. 12 seconds can make or break the game. With the respawn point right next to one of the enemy's capture zones here on the mines, having such a long respawn time, well, it's really frustrating, to say the least. If there's an enemy right next to the flag zone and you still have 5 seconds to respawn, the respawn time really needs to be turned down a bit. It needs to be less. Now you may be wondering why I've said that the T110E5 isn't really suited to this mode. It's because it's the slowest of the 3 tanks. The AMX-50B is at least sort of fast, and the Object 140 is of course the fastest, but the T110, it's just not suited at all. And then there comes the issues of the repair points, and in fact, in the Sand River map as in particular. Just like on the Mines map, there are 3 repair points on the Sand River Domination map. However, I find the positioning of this central repair point to be, well, a little misguided. In fact, rather misguided. You see, it holds a rather strategic position overwatching the spawn point of the flag. Now, of course, the repair zones do have a 1-minute cooldown that's supposed to prevent you from camping them, to stop you constantly being repaired. But as you can see, people keep camping the things anyway, especially that middle one on Sand River. On one match I've had in Sand River Domination, no one camped because my team could not get the flag and cap because basically the entirety of the enemy team was sitting in that central repair zone, just waiting for their cooldowns to finish so they would get repaired. And that was really annoying. The fact that no one could pick up the flag and get far enough away without being obliterated by these idiots just camping. And that's one of the main issues. People do a lot of camping on the Domination maps, and on this mode. You can see right there in G8, I think, people are camping. There's people camping in E4, E and F4, and sometimes they'll even camp in D2, right outside their spawn. And that's just not what you're supposed to do. It's incredibly frustrating to have the entirety of your team just camp. Now, the other issue with this Sand River map and Domination, well, the other two repair zones on opposite sides of the map, in the diagonal corners, opposite corners, whatever. There's nothing to stop the enemy from camping the north one, and because there's no repair point near our base, because there's not an equal number of repair points, I'm having to go around half the map just to reach a repair zone that hasn't been taken over and camped, because there's a bunch of enemies camping the northern repair zone. And then there's the people who are honest to goodness do not know how to play this mode. I swear I'm not making this up. As I come round this corner, you're going to see a T110E5, yep, right there, who's for some reason labelled as an AMX-50B. He's coming round to repair. He's got the flag. And I honestly thought, right, he's going to repair and then we're going to make a push into their base. We've got plenty of people here. We're going to make a great big push. So he gets into the repair point, and, well, you're going to see, he's repaired, and he starts shooting his fellow team member and does nothing. And for a moment I thought, well, okay, maybe he's waiting for more people, but no. He's just sitting here, camping in the repair zone. And he accidentally makes me use up my repair. Because I'm telling him to get moving, and he's not moving. And we're telling this guy to move, but it's entirely likely that he doesn't speak a word of English, or he even has his chat disabled. So I'm telling this guy, his name is Pansonik by the way, to move, and he won't move. He's not moving. And I hold him personally responsible for the loss of this match, because we had the chance to deliver the fucking flag, and he wasn't moving, and eventually I just gave up. I had to go out and try and get some kills myself, because this guy wasn't doing anything. I had to manually put the scores up myself as best as I could, because he wasn't coming along and killing people. And there he is now. He's finally moved his ass. It's entirely likely that someone finally spoke to him in his native bloody language, whatever it is. But no, he's still using his tank like a battle tank. He doesn't. No, he's still not delivering the flag. Seriously, he either needs to turn on his chat, learn to speak English, or maybe even learn how to breathe. Because this guy is just beyond belief. Yeah, I had no choice but to try and kill people, because he wasn't delivering the flag. Probably because he didn't read any of the instructions on how to play, even though they were right there on the bloody loading screen. Look, he's going away from the flag. He's right outside the enemy's base, and he's not trying to take it away from there. He's basically getting closer to it. He's going back to the repair zone, and I've got to try and cover him, because I've got to try and at least hope that he was going to try and drive there at some point, even though he does appear to be far too stupid to even breathe or drink water. I wonder if he knows if, oh, finally he's died and someone else finally got their hands on it. But still, because of that, because of the fact that he was not leaving, that he was not moving towards the cap, we lost. But But this video isn't all about the negative points. There are several valid positive points. For example, despite the fact that that guy did make us lose the match, it was still immense fun. That's what this mode is for the time being. It is incredibly fun. And you know, that's all I've really got to say. Yes, there are negative points. Yes, I really hate being killed. But it's all made up for with the intense enjoyment of this game mode. The fact that this is, for all intents and purposes, garage battles, and they are finally here. And it also gives you a whale of experience. All this experience that if you do exceptionally well, if you capture the flag, like I'm about to, here on this Sand River game again, it can give you as much as 1,000 experience per game. That is incredibly worthwhile, and it's gonna really help me on my way to my first tier 9 tank. And here we go, I'm about to jump into the capture zone. Whee! There we go. And that is going to be one of the straws that breaks the camel's back. The camel being the red team. So I'm going to leave you with that. You can watch the rest of this game and a bonus game on the mines. Not the one that started earlier, mind you, a different one. I'll see you in the next one. Good night.
vehicle is heading.